Hey guys, welcome back to SkyFactory 3 with Haley. We are having so much fun. See, I got some new armor. It's not the armor that we want to get, our ultimate armor for the quest, but it is the Superium armor, I believe is what it's called. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But first of all, I want to show you something very important. I got elevators. So I can go up and down without having to worry about the ladder. All right, let's jump right in our book here. We left off last time talking about the armor, and I did learn that I actually don't have to progress like I thought I was going to have to. Let me just go into this mod real quick. So, well, showing you the armor that I have. Okay, so each piece of armor doesn't require the first piece. So what I was thinking at first, in order for me to get this premium helm, I was actually going to need the lower helms, but instead I only need the armor cores. So each of the armor cores are made for one piece. So I need 4 armor cores for, for each one of those. So in order for me to make the Superium helm, I only needed to make the Superium ingots, which is a progression of the ingots, but I didn't have to make the lower helm for it. Instead, I just needed to make sure that I had the Superium armor core, which required the lower cores on each one of those. So I've got a nice set of armor. This does have a set bonus, which is no fall damage. And I think it has the set bonuses of the original ones, because I did notice I do have step assist, which is the set bonus of the intermediate armor core, so I would have water breathing from the Prudentium chest plate. So we've got that. We're still building up to be able to make the Superium armor, and what's holding us right now is we need nether stars and wither skeleton skulls. So we're going to continue that quest in this episode. But I want to show you something else that I've done. You see our little mob farm? I've been playing around a little bit, and I found this dark glass, so I can actually kind of see what's going on in here. But what's more important are these vector plates. So I've been trying to figure out a way to get all these endermen from stop jumping around, and I thought the vector plates would be a way to do it, but it actually isn't, but it is something that's really cool. So let me show you these vector plates real quick. They're just basically replacing the fan that was pushing the mobs towards the iron spikes. The vector plates are very easy to make. They just require 2 pieces of stone, some sugar, and some kind of slime ball. And the slime ball I'm using, of course, is the coagulated blood, which is made from smelting rotten flesh, which we have tons of. So the vector plates, they are kind of like a little escalator. They push the mobs towards our iron spikes here. The dark glass, basically, it makes it a dark room, but I can still see what's going on inside. So I still have to be 25 blocks away for anything to spawn, but it's pretty cool to be able to see inside of there. So I've got that going, and I also, downstairs, let's take our little elevator, pop down, whoosh. I used some dark glass in our little room here. Now, this was the room we were going to use to make the wither skeleton spawner. So I did rearrange it. I've got the beamers. They're now going horizontally. I've got a chest on top of each one of those, and you see I've got the vector plates set up here, all leading into this little hole here. We're going to talk about that here in a second. The chest, I went ahead, I've been growing a lot of wheat, so I've almost got a full chest of wheat. Put potatoes in there for some reason, no particular reason, but to just go in there. I've got a ton of netherrack, which I did make the nether seed, so I'm getting a lot of nether essence. Remember, every 5 essences they make about a half a stack of netherrack. And then I've got bones that I'm just pulling in from the spawner, or a mob spawner over there. But let's talk about this hole here. I want this to be completely automated, where I turn on the switch and have the mobs die without me having to go in there to touch them. So there is something in this pack called a mechanical user. And a mechanical user is very similar to the autonomous activator, which was in, I guess, SkyFactory 2 and 2.5, maybe even 1. I didn't play 1, unfortunately. But the autonomous activator is going to, we're going to make one of these to be able to put our sword in it. And remember, we're trying to get right, initially we're trying to get mob chunks, because the mob chunks are what we're actually going to need to make the wither skeleton, what's that? The seed. And the seed will give us essence, and the essence we can use to make the skulls. We also do need skulls as well, but initially we're going to try to get the mob chunks. So the only issue with the mechanical user is that it comes from the mod Extra Utils 2, which means it's going to require something called grid power. Let's go ahead and get this made up here. Let me hop on over here. And our mechanical user is made from a dropper, which we should be able to make. We got a dropper in here. I might even already have a lever. I do have a lever, good. But I need this resonating redstone crystal, which is made from redstone and an ender shard. The end shard, I don't think I have any, right, okay. The ender shard is actually really easy to make. It takes an ender pearl against a glass cutter. So let's get a glass cutter made. Just take 3 pieces of iron and a stick. I'm gonna toss that in there, and I should be able to make the ender shard, because it already has some ender pearls in there. Now this is really cool because it's basically shattering the ender pearl, and if I were to use one, it basically makes that shard, you know, down to 4. So it kind of, you know, stacks into 8 using that way. So let's put that up there, and now I can make my ender what's this thing? The resonating redstone crystal. And now I can make my mechanical user. So let's go ahead and drop that down here. Oops, almost forgot my elevator is right there. So we're going to go ahead and put this into our, I hope it goes this way. Oh, I think it goes the other way. Oops, it's in there. Ooh, I got an experience chunk. I think I've been killing stuff. Let's see. Now the glass, one downfall of this glass is that it actually, if I break it, it's not like the quite clear glass. If I break it, it's broken. I cannot, what's the word I'm thinking? Get it back. So I'd have to make more. So I don't want to break any of the glass unless I have some stocked up. And I think I have 1 or 2 pieces left. I'll show you how to make the dark glass. Can't believe I got to tell you to do that. But let me go ahead and drop this. Get it right direction here. Back over here in the chest. Oh, give me that vector plate. I have some extras down here. Let's see if I can get it to sit in the right direction. Down this way. Oh, not in there. I can do this. Let's see, get a little closer. Bam, there it goes. So you can see I can set it up to put my sword in here. I'm going to go ahead and toss that in here for right now. And in the interface, I'm going to set it to go to use item. I'm going to say entity. So basically every time, I believe that's right, we're going to find out. It's going to, every time an entity gets close to it, it's going to use the Solarium dagger. I'm going to need to make another one. This doesn't have very much durability left. I only want to use the upper left slot, and I want to use, is it right click? No, it's left click. Make sure. Left click so that it actually uses it. So let's get out of here. Put these vector plates back, and is my cobblestone over here? Yeah, it's right there. That vector plate. The dark glass, like I said, it's not something that's you need to have. Like, this doesn't even need to be a dark room. It just makes it dark and you can see inside what's going on. But let me just show you that real quick. The dark glass is actually made from thickened glass and some either black floral powder, some kind of dye. So you can get ink sats or dye or the black floral powder. And I used the black floral powder from Botania because I had a ton of that. I finally did get a black petal, and you just put that in some pestle and mortars, and you get a ton of black flour. The floral powder. The thickened glass is what's a little bit trickier. It's made by smelting sandy glass, and sandy glass is just sand and glass. So you get 4 of those. You smelt that down, you get your thickened glass. You put that with the floral powder, and bam, you get some dark glass. All right, so I did say there was a little bit of issue with the mechanical user, as when I hover over it, you see it says grid power 10 of 0. You remember early on when we first made our cobblestone generator that it mentioned something about a penalty. So the fact that I have a mining upgrade in this transfer node is penalizing me 10 grid power in order to get this to work. So anything that requires 10 grid power is going to require 10 additional grid power because I have this this transfer node going. So let's talk about grid power. This is an Extra Utilities 2 mod, Extra Util 2, and grid power is made by a lot of different ways. You can either make it with solar panels, which are they're pretty easy to make. They just require some lapis and some polished stone. What we're going to look to try to make is a watermill, which is really easy to make, but in order to get the watermill, we're going to need a resonator, and a resonator requires polished stone. So it's a lot of stuff. Don't worry, we're going to get through all of it. Let's go over here to our refined storage system and see what we can get going. We want to make the watermill. So in order to make the watermill, where did it go? Just had it up. Oh, come on. You guys saw that mill? The YouTuber blindness is real. There we go. Okay, so the watermill is going to require these stone burns, and stone burns is made from putting polished stone into a resonator. A resonator is going to take a block of coal, 2 redstones, the crystal, which we should have, an iron ingot. So let's go ahead and get our crystal made. Let's see, resonator. Get our crystal made up there. We're going to need a block of coal. So we can make that up really quick here. And bam, we got a resonator. Now the resonator is all this is going to require some form of power, but it's kind of a wireless situation. So if we can get it going, we should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and set the resonator right here. Now you can see no power used and no power is being generated. So we're trying to make a watermill, and we need polished stone, which is just made from stone bricks. 4 stone bricks. So let's see what stone we have in here right now. Stone. We got a little bit. Give us 4 stone bricks. Yeah, let's get as much as we can. So 16. And if I take 4 of those, oh, how many of these do I actually need? That's a good question. I need 6. So, oh yeah, they give you 4 each. So I got 16. That should be plenty right now. Now I need to put that into this resonator, but it's saying the grid is overloaded because it's already using 10 grid power. In order for me to get this 1 stone burnt to go, I need 8 additional grid power. So we're going to start off with something fairly easy. We're going to use the manual mill. The manual mill is going to give us some kind of grid power, and that's going to require another one of those redstone thingies. Let's grab one of those. And we need to make a redstone gear, which is just 4 of the redstone torches. I don't have any redstone torches on me. Let me make 4 of those real quick. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And get the redstone gear. And then we have our manual mills ready to go. This manual mill is going to generate grid power. I'm just going to set that right here. It generates grid power by me right clicking on it. Now it'll generate up to 15 grid power. Now it looks like I'm still clicking on it, but I'm actually not. See, my hands are free, but once you start clicking on it once, it's pretty much going to go by itself. Now this is only getting 5 grid power because I have 10 being used from that penalty, and I have 15 being pulled from here, so I'm still 3 short. So what I can do is I can't actually have 2 mills going at once. Now if you're on a server, you can have 1 person doing 1 mill while you're doing another, and that will give you 30, but it only works while you're clicking on it. So we are going to use some of these solar panels. We can get 3 of those going. Get 1 more of these. Each one of these will give us 1 additional grid power. Now this only works during the day. Let me just set these right here for right now. And they have to be visible to the sun. So now you can see I'm getting up to 18. And it used 8 to make that 1. And now it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and put a stack of that in here. And you can see it's going to go up to 18, and then it should drop back down, because once it reaches 18, I'll have another piece of stone burnt. Now I'll need 6 for this mill. Okay, that's still clicking while we go. So we need 6 to get a watermill. Now the watermill, it will generate 4 grid power on each side, so I can get up to 16 grid power going from one watermill. And the water has to be flowing towards it. So I have a nice little setup I'm going to do. Once we get our 6, we got 3. Let's keep going there. Once we get our 6, we'll get downstairs, and hopefully the sun. Yeah, we got plenty of sun still going on. Just gonna wait for this to go. I mean, there's just been so much that I want to do in this pack, but it just takes a lot of setup. But once you get it set up, it's pretty much automated and ready to go. Let's see, how are we doing? We got 6. Perfect. Okay, so we'll come back, and we're going to, let's see, I need some more of the redstone sticks for redstone torches. So because I need 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I need 2 of those redstone gears. I can never remember any names. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 2 of those. And what else do I need? Oh, I need one of those middle thingies again. That's pretty much the crux of anything under the extra utilities. Alright, so we got a watermill going. Now, watermill, let me see, I want to grab some cobblestone here. So I'm going to do a little setup. And I'm going to go ahead and get a bucket of water. Oops, I can spell bucket right. Alright, so now, let's head downstairs. Alright, I'm going to put this right here is pretty good. Because I'm going to need a pretty big area to get going. So I'm going to set this watermill right here. So you see each side has these little fans on them. So what we want to do, we want to set up around each of those areas a flowing water source. So if I put water here, oh, I didn't grab any water while I was upstairs. Get a bucket of water. And you don't have to feed it. Once you get it set up, it's pretty much going to go on its own. Let's see, go downstairs. And we're going to go ahead and feed that in there. Now, if we hover over, it tells you how much power you have generating in your system. So right now I have 4 generating in our system. I'm going to go ahead and turn on our wither skeleton spawner over here, just so it can kind of get juiced up and start spitting out some guys. As long as they're behind that glass, they can't get out. But the vector plates are going to push it towards our mechanical user, which has our sword in it. But we just need to get some juice on it, some grid power on it, so it can actually run. So I'm going to grab some more water. Probably should just grab more buckets to be a smarter choice. But again, once you get it set up, it's going to be good to go. Let's see. Alright, see, we got already our first wither skeleton. He's ready to get smacked around, but it's just not enough power to get that going. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out the way. Don't worry, I'm not going to make it so dark down here. Oh, that's too many. Let's see, I'm going to put some torches here. Put that there. We got our next flowing power. So now you see we got 8 that are generating. So let's go ahead and build up around this. Let's see, remember I only need 2 flowing out. Oops. Come back here. Alrighty. Perfect. We'll put our torches around the edges here so we don't get any little friends popping up to say hello. Let's see. So we need a little bit more, just so I can show you guys how this is working. And I want to talk about the Endermen. I've found something that's going to help me keep those Endermen from constantly jumping out of the mob farm. At least I hope it will. We'll find out. Alright, so let's get this next part. So this should give us 12. Oops, wrong way. And then I probably should have just made an infinite water source down here. But hindsight's 2020. So let's get up here and get this last bucket. And I'm going to grab our manual mill while we're up here because I can get the additional grid power I need by just hitting our manual mill. Remember these solar panels, they only work in the daytime, so at night they're not any good. There are lunar panels which you can make, which will work at night, and they're made from lunar reactive dust, which is by putting lunar lapis lazuli into a resonator, and it'll give you the nighttime lunar. All right, let's put this last one in, and you can see, oh, they're piling up over there. So let's see if we can get enough grid power going to get our mechanical user. Oh, you can see it's already hitting them. Yep, we had enough. So if we hover over, I think this is using 16.4 out of 16. So it's still not enough. If I spin this, there we go. So I just need a little bit more. So I'm going to set up some more water mills off camera just so I can just keep this up here going. So it looks like we did get our first wither skeleton chunk. We're going to need 3 of those for our thingamajig, our wither skeleton seed. So this is pretty much automated setup. We just got to get some more windmills going, so we'll have plenty of power to keep that going. And right now I do have enough, I should have enough items in here that it should be able to keep spawning. Yeah, I'm not running out of anything anytime soon. So that's that pretty much set up. Now let's talk about these endermen. There is something called in here called a ender tether. Haven't made this before. This requires an unstable ender pearl, which is just an ender pearl with some wither dust. Now the wither dust you get from killing withermen, and I did, or you can actually get from turning your wither skeleton skull into it. But I actually got it, special ingredient. It dropped from it dropped from when I was killing some of those withermen. So if I go up here to our refined storage system, right there, you can see that I already have, one wither dust. So I'm going to go ahead and make that unstable ender pearl, and I'm going to make a redstone torch, and I'm going to make the ender tether. Now I think I have more. I got 1 piece of dark glass in here because I'm going to break a piece of glass over here. Actually, I'm going to try something. This probably won't work. Let's see if this wrench, oh, I have it on me. There we go. Let's see if I can use this wrench to break open a piece of glass. I probably can't, be wishful thinking, but it's worth a shot, right? So if I shift, right click, yeah, it's not going to work. All right, so let's see where we want to put this. I think I want to be able to put it, because I want to get the enderman to stay in here. Okay, so let's break this piece here. And oh, too far away from where I want it to go. Oh no. Okay, so I got cobble, so I can use the cobble to block it in. Oh no, that's not get stuck in there. I don't want to die. All right, so we want to put it here. Will it actually attach there? Maybe it won't, huh? Let me see. Okay, it actually has to be on the ground. Alright, well, I'm going to set it here for right now. I'll put this glass back and we'll put a piece of cobble in there for right now. So hopefully that will attract, now we already got some endermen that are already outside, but we're going to see if that works going forward. Alright, I'm just thinking. You see anybody over there? It should be still dark in there. It had a red X on it. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on it for right now. So between now and next episode, I'm going to make a few more water mills just to make sure I have enough power to keep this going, because we want to get a lot of, the more of the wither skeleton chunks we get, the more seeds we can make, and that means the more skeleton skulls we can actually get. So I think that's it for right now. I'm still working on my dark steel to be able to make our wither box. I already started actually. Let me show you that over here. And hop on upstairs. So we are going to make our wither box over here in the corner. Is that here? Okay, must be around there somewhere. Okay, so this is going to be our platform we're going to use. We're actually going to enclose this area completely, so we'll have a box to be able to kill withers, which means we'll be able to get our nether stars, and then we'll be able to get our supremium armor. So right now in the book, before we log off here, let's see. We have, I don't think we've done anything special. I've kind of skipped ahead on a few things. Let's see, we haven't. Maybe some things we're doing just really not in the book. Let's see. I'm going to need to find out how to make this Tinker's weapon. So if you're watching this episode, let me know if you know if there's a way or what I need to do to get that Tinker's weapon that does 20 or more damage. I know there is a an auto tool thing, tool station, auto tool, or there used to be. Is that it? No, I don't even know which one it is. But there's a tool thingy that will actually, I can add the modifiers to it directly, or I may just have to be able to put it into our tool station manually here. That'll add like sharpness to it. I think that's with lapis, which will be able to add to it. So I'll look into some more information of that off camera. We haven't started blood magic. Got a lot more to do in Botania, so we may pick up on that later this week. And then Draconic Evolution, which we need a lot more to go on to that. Well, again, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode for now. It is going a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I'm going to have to figure out how to get that tether to stay where I want it to stay. Oh, I got an idea. But anyway, that'll be off camera. Anyway, I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you would like to support me in what I'm doing, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you like the video, go ahead and click the like button as well. If you have any suggestions on what I'm trying to do, if I'm doing something wrong, or if you know a better way to do it, please go ahead and leave a comment. As always, I appreciate you guys very much and everything that you do, all your comments, your views. It just means a lot to me. But we're going to go ahead and end the episode. So until next time, guys, later. Bye.